Got sent home from school one day with a shiner on my eye. Fighting was against the rules and it didn't matter why. When Dad got home I told that story just like I'd rehearsed. Then stood there on those trembling knees and waited for the worst. And he said, let me tell you a secret about a father's love, a secret that my daddy said was just between us. He said daddies don't just love their children every now and then. It's a love without end, amen. It's a love without end, amen. When I became a father in the spring of '81, there was no doubt that stubborn boy was just like my father's son. And when I thought my patience had been tested to the end, I took my daddy's secret and I passed it on to him. I said, let me tell you a secret about a father's love, a secret that my daddy said was just between us. I said, daddies don't just love their children every now and then. It's a love without end, amen. It's a love without end, amen. Last night I dreamed I died and stood outside those pearly gates, when suddenly I realized there must be some mistake. If they know half the things I've done, they'll never let me in. And then somewhere from the other side I heard these words again. And they said, let me tell you a secret about a father's love, a secret that my daddy said was just between us. You see, daddies don't just love their children every now and then. It's a love without end, amen. It's a love without end, amen.
She was a girl on a wagon train, headed west across the plains. The train got lost in a summer storm. They couldn't move west and they couldn't go home. Then she saw him riding through the rain. He took charge of the wagons and he saved the train. And she looked down and her heart was gone. The train went west but she stayed on in Lonesome Dove. A farmer's daughter with a gentle hand, a blooming rose in a bed of sand. She loved the man who wore a star, a Texas Ranger known near and far. So they got married and they had a child. But times were tough and the West was wild, so it was no surprise the day she learned that her Texas man would not return to Lonesome Dove. Back to back with the Rio Grande, a Christian woman in the devil's land. She learned the language and she learned to fight, but she never learned how to beat the lonely night in Lonesome Dove. lonesome dove. She watched her boy grow into a man. He had an angel's heart in the devil's hand. He wore a star for all to see. He was a Texas lawman legacy. Then one day word blew into town. It seemed the man that shot his father down had robbed a bank in Jericho. The only thing between them and Mexico was a lonesome dove. The shadows stretched across the land as the shots rang out down the Rio Grande. And when the smoke had finally cleared the street, the men lay at the ranger's feet. But legend tells to this very day, that shots were coming from an alleyway. Though no one knows who held the gun, there ain't no doubt if you ask someone in Lonesome Dove. Back to back with the Rio Grande, a Christian woman in the devil's land. She learned the language and she learned to fight, but she never learned how to beat the lonely night in Lonesome Dove. Lonesome Dove. He could see the storm clouds rolling across the hill. He barely beat the rain in from the field. And between the back door slamming, she heard him say, damn this rain and damn this wasted day. But she'd been waiting for this day for oh so long. She was standing in the kitchen with nothing but her apron on. And in disbelief he stood and he stared a while. But when their eyes met, they both began to smile. Somewhere other than the night, she needs to hear I love you. Somewhere other than the night, she needs to know you care. And she wants to know she's needed, and she needs to be held tight. Somewhere other than the night. They spent the day wrapped up in a blanket on the front porch swing. Come to realize he'd neglected certain things. And there are times she feels alone even by his side. It was the first time she ever saw him cry. Somewhere other than the somewhere other than the night. She needs to know you care, and she wants to know she's needed, and she needs to be held tight somewhere other than the night. To know she's needed, and she needs to be held tight somewhere other than the night. Blame it all on my roots. I showed up in boots and ruined your black tie affair. The last one to know, the last one to show, I was the last one you thought you'd see there. And I saw the surprise and the fear in his eyes when I took his glass of champagne. I toasted you, said, honey, we may be through, but you'll never hear me complain. 'Cause I got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases my blues away. And I'll be okay. I'm not big on social graces, think I'll slip on down to the oasis. So I've got friends in low places. I guess I was wrong, I just don't belong. But then, I've been there before. Everything's alright, I'll just say goodnight and I'll show myself to the door. Hey, I didn't mean to cause a big scene, just give me an hour and then all these highs that ivory tower